is no secret that drug abuse among the youth in Zimbabwe is now at crisis levels, and the number of youths abusing drugs is growing exponentially. Hello and welcome to our channel today. This is the first of a series brought to you by Resilient 7 Youth Movement on drug awareness and recovery. My name is Sam, and I'll be your host today.
And I'm Uncle Stuart.
And this with us today is Prince.
Hello viewers, my name is Prince and I'm a lifestyle and medicine specialist. I'm happy to be here today.
Great. We thank Prince for accepting our invitation to be part of us today, as we are going to be talking about this topic. Look, we've heard a lot about the triggers to drug abuse. But how about triggers to quitting drugs? What really motivates someone to quit? What pushes them to, decide to change their lives, to make this radical and important decision in their lives? Well, that being said, let's remember that accepting that you have an addiction and overcoming it is no easy task. Therefore, in trying to do so, you need some serious motivation. Wherever you can get it, motivation that will help you, go clean, quit drugs, and, turn over a new leaf, really, is really great motivation. So, today, Uncle Stu and Prince are going to be helping us here, understand more of these motivational factors, and let's call them triggers to change.
Sure.
Right? And so let's get to it.
Sure.
I'm going to start by hitting you with a question, of course.
Okay.
Prince, yeah. So, triggers to change. What comes to mind?
When it comes to triggers to change, my thoughts just comes to the motivation that one has inside.
All right.
Basically, we're talking of self-actualization, right? If the thing that comes from within that motivates someone to make a change. So when it comes to triggers, we're talking of the things that can push someone to make a change, that can aid him, the fuel that can cause someone to have that desire to live a free life.
All right, Uncle Stu.
Are we talking about triggers like you're talking about a feeling from inside?
Yes.
That inner desire.
Yeah.
Could I be triggered to change because of a loved one?
Yeah, basically.
An external source of
An external source.
External source. In as much as we talk of the internal things,
Yes.
like basically in the world, we just know that there are biological changes that can trigger a change in someone. For example, if one is an adolescent, there are some changes that happens.
Yeah.
A baby you see a baby starts to walk. There are some changes that happens in a baby. Those are some of the things that happens from within that can. Those are biological changes that can cause someone to change. So for now, we are talking of basically when it comes to triggers to change, we are talking of the things that are inside that can push someone to abuse drugs, right? And we also talk of external factors that can motivate someone to make a change. So basically, in as much as we do not exclude the issue of the internal things, the internal push, the cravings and all those things, we're also talking of the external factors that can help to suppress the cravings that one can have when it comes to drug abuse.
So there are intrinsic and extrinsic factors
Yeah.
that can motivate one to decide to make, this radical change in life and say, you know what, I've had it.
Yeah.
I don't want it no more.
Okay, Uncle Stu, what comes to mind? Triggers to change.
Well, when it comes to triggers of change, in my view, he's speaking about internal things and external things. I feel as if maybe that change can come from another direction that is actually not internal or external, but spiritual.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
That's how I
Oh yeah,
feel.
you can't really say spiritual is external. You can't really say it's internal.
It's everywhere.
kind of everywhere.
Sure.
Yes,
All right.
yes, yes.
Okay. That's an interesting
So,
aspect.
yeah, spiritual aspect, God coming into your life, and you decide to be a different person, and you change.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. So, Prince, that there are some triggers to change.
Yeah.
You give us a few, maybe one at a time, and we're going to just digest them here, discuss them, and get to know more about these things. Educate us. Triggers to change. What's the first one that comes to mind?
Okay, when it comes to triggers to change, the things that can motivate someone to make a change, basically there are other things there are other factors outside the world that we can look into, like the issues like social interaction.
Okay.
So when it comes to social interaction, we are talking of the influence that the family, the friends, the church, the community can give to someone. Basically, the um, like the social interaction.
Let's just say the community
Yeah,
around them,
the
right?
community around.
Because friends, family, church. You said what else?
Even the emotions as well.
Okay.
Yeah, can cause someone to change. So basically, the perceptions of the community can influence someone to make a positive or a negative change.
All right.
Yeah. So that's what we can look into, like the social interactions, how
that
it
someone
can
has
influence someone to make a change.
to make a change.
Yeah.
Stuart,
So,
looks like you're bending right
so
there.
like someone can change for better or for worse,
Yeah.
depending on the environment they're in.
The environment. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically, what he's saying is you and I have a part to play on how, people who are around us, who are, using drugs,
Yes.
are going to, change.
Change.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a positive change? Is it going to be a negative change? Are we showing them enough love to feel like, you know what? If I change and go to these guys, I'm gonna be accepted.
Yeah.
Or do they really just shun me?
No, but seemingly the community is not giving drug abusers that much love.
All right.
It's as if these drug abusers or drug users are alienated.
All right.
Yes,
All right.
as in they are a group of people who live in a type of world where they're always drunk or always high, and the other people in the society who claim to be sober alienate them. So hence the drug users feel as if we are our own, they are their own.
So they feel like it's water and
no
oil,
change.
really. We can't
Water
mix.
and oil, we can't
Yeah.
mix.
Okay.
So changing there for them would be like, if I change, I'm losing to their team.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the community really has to do something
Very
to
much.
open doors to these people, allow them in, help them open up,
Yes.
and accept that they can be accepted when they come to the community. However, that's not what's happening. There's a lot of stigma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of which that's not bad. The Bible does say corrupt company.
Bad company corrupts good moral.
Yes. So we're not saying playing around with people, but we're
Just
talking about
accommodate them, yeah.
accommodation of love.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Yes.
And also, it just brought me to this thinking that that's why Christ had to come here on earth.
Yes.
He mingled with people as one who desired their good. Actually, if you look in the book of Matthew,
Yes.
chapter 9, verse 10, it talks about the disciples and Jesus mingling with the Sadducees and the sinners. They were just eating at the same table. Right? So in Jesus' time, the Sadducees were like another sect of people that we can now call addicts. Yeah,
Alright.
but actually, if you were to mingle with an addict that time, with the Sadducee, that the sinner on that time, people would just say they are the same. You
Yeah,
know,
same.
that same statement which says, birds of the same feathers
Flock
flocks
together.
together. Yeah. So in Christ's time, he had to change the perception of the people, right? And showing the love to sinners, right? Showing love to those addicts in that time, so that they can be accommodated in the community. And you can actually see his ministry was more successful than those of the Pharisees. The Pharisees were just saying, we are of our own community. We don't mingle with sinners. But Christ had to say, no, we just have to bridge a gap.
He said,
Yeah.
I came to seek and save the
sinners.
lost.
Yeah.
So you bring in a very interesting aspect, that of religion, the church.
Yeah.
All right. Doesn't matter what church it is. The church really in our community has a big, big role to play when it comes to societal integration of you know people who are suffering from this drug abuse thing. Now, when looked at upon from a religious perspective, right, they can be labeled sinners and all sorts of words.
The uncircumcised.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you look at it from a medical point of view, these are people who are sick.
Yeah. True.
These are patients, people who need help, just like munani sugar, munani diabetes. Except that, well, it started from a point where they maybe wanted to experiment, or something happened in their life and it triggered that they start, you know, taking drugs, and then now that they are addicted, it is now, you know, a health issue, which requires them to be treated as actual patients.
True.
So depending on what you know model, what point of view that is being used, they are painted in different words.
Yeah. And actually, that demotivates someone. If someone wants to change, and he visits the church, he visits the community, even in the family, if you are an addict, the whole family will discriminate you. You just say, "Mwanam paradzi," you know, you're not part of our family because you have decided to choose your own way. Worse off, the family. If the family is a Christian family, they will just say, you are no longer you're the prodigal son to us. You're no longer part of our family. So, so basically, if people embrace this love, the love of Christ, if they show love to other people, welcome them, embrace them with the tender love of Christ, there is going to, everyone can be motivated. No one can resist love.
Nobody.
Yeah, so if one is shown love, automatically that person can change.
All right.
You'll have to be created with a stone cold heart.
Yeah.
Not to be able to accept love.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Well, that's on social interaction, right? I believe on upcoming you know episodes of this drug awareness and recovery series, we're going to touch more on you know the family and how drug abuse affects the family and the community as well, because the one who is affected is not only the individual but also the people around them. So watch the space. We're gonna get to that again. All right, Stuart, are you burning there?
I'm good.
You good?
I'm burning in the right way.
Thank you. So, what about the next one? What's the next trigger to change?
Okay, so the other trigger to change is distress levels.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So when you talk of distress levels, these are things that can motivate an individual to make a change due to some things that happened previously.
Okay.
Like, for example, anxiety or depression or some disease, right? That can cause someone to look for, to seek for medical attention. Right? So afterwards, they will just say, I think this thing is causing harm to me.
Maybe
right?
they overdose. I've heard stories of some people who decided, okay, I've had it, this is it, because they realized they almost lost their life.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what you're talking about when you say distress levels.
Yes.
And I also had you say something like depression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought that some actually go into drug abuse because of depression.
Yeah.
And some actually leave it because of the same reason.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So because of most of the drugs, there are some chemical changes that happens in the system because of using the whatever substance that you be using, right? So those chemical reactions can leave you much more depressed than you were before taking the drug. So some people, they just come to the office, they seek for medical attention, they need there's some help, counseling, and you realize that this is because of the drug that person has been taking. Right. So actually, that can motivate someone to make a change.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Uncle Stu, want to weigh in?
I was thinking about, you know the word hippie?
Yeah, I'm familiar with the word, and I associate with someone dressed in a certain way.
Yes. Hippiness is also associated with drugs.
All right.
It's a state whereby someone doesn't bath,
Okay.
they're unclean, they're always high or drunk, and even where they live, what they eat, it's like someone who doesn't really take care of themselves. That's more of a hippie type of person.
I see.
And though that can push someone to change if they are able to realize that I'm in a hippie state.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they can realize, "Wow, I'm always dirty," and somehow they're kind of broken inside to the extent that they don't no longer care about anything else.
Yeah.
They don't care about how they look.
All they think about is the next fix.
It's the next fix to heal maybe a broken heart.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, these are some of the things that motivate people to change. You just mentioned of the hippie state. Just self-introspect. Are you in a hippie state? Well, if you need any help, you can come forward. Our contact information is right here, and we'll be happy to assist. Resilient 7 Youth Movement is doing a drug abuse and recovery campaign, also with the help of Prince here, who also does detox programs, as well as other partners that we have whom we work with to help people, recover from drug abuse. Well, now that you know where to get help, we're going to remind you again, but let's get back to this topic.
Yeah,
Sure.
So distress levels.
Yeah.
What's next?
So the other thing that can motivate someone to make a change is critical life events.
Okay.
That critical life events. So in the event someone is had an accident, due to the use of drugs, that can motivate someone to
Maybe they were operating some machines with impaired judgment, or even driving.
Yeah. So that can motivate someone to make a change, or even someone gets fired at work, or in employment, because some of the employments they require some medical examinations. So if someone
get a pee in the bottle once in a while.
So that can motivate someone. Okay, if the blood is not clean, I want to get a job. So it can motivate someone to make a change, or even a sermon at church. Just hearing a sermon like a show like this, can motivate someone to make a change. So critical life events, even marriage. Have you ever heard of some gentlemen who just go to church and they realize that the one that they are planning to marry is a church goer? Then you just say, "I don't see adore, ndokuda." Get it? Yeah.
And they actually do it.
They actually do it. Yeah.
Wow, that must be one special goal.
Yeah. So someone can just make a change because because of the loved one when they want to marry, or So basically, any event in life,
even the loss of a loved one.
The loss of a loved one, actually, if it is attributed to drug abuse, can influence someone to make a change.
Also, this critical life event has to somehow be attributed to drug abuse.
Yeah. So
even something like no improvement in life.
Yeah.
When it finally hits you
that I've been stagnant for the past 8 years.
I've been stagnant for the past 10 years. I've done nothing with my life.
Yeah.
all my friends and families, they're now out there, they're married, maybe they already have their jobs and they're working, they now have families, then it just hits you on that day, like, what?
I'm not making
I've
progress.
actually got nothing.
What have
right
I
now.
done with my life?
Yes, that's another.
And you actually get to
trick.
realize maybe some opportunities that came along your way.
Yeah.
And you were probably too
you wasted them.
high or too drunk to capitalize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Critical life events. What's the next thing?
So the next thing that can motivate someone is cognitive appraisal,
All right.
or cognitive evaluation. Right. So when it comes to cognitive evaluation, we are talking of if someone individually evaluates how their life is moving, right, or the impact that the drugs are doing in their life. Right. Yeah. It's almost similar to life events, but it's a bit different. It's like someone just sit down and start to think.
It's more similar to what he just said, right?
Yes, so
Someone
almost
just sits and it
yeah.
strikes them, like maybe they
Start to make an inventory of life.
introspecting,
Yeah.
self-introspecting, and they realize this thing has been tearing me apart.
Yeah. So that thing can actually motivate someone to make a change,
Okay.
right? So those are some of the things. Basically, when someone starts to think about it, like what you said, they just need help, need assistance on how to put their thoughts into action.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe we shall talk about that later. So that is when you need to seek advice or assistance, right, to those medical professionals who are able to assist you to maneuver through to make those
With
changes.
the recovery process.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay. That's well. So far we've gone through how many? Social interaction, right? You said critical life events.
Yes.
You mentioned distress levels, and then a cognitive appraisal.
Yes.
So we on what? On 4.
On 4.
How many more do we have to go?
Actually, we have two
Okay,
more.
okay.
But
Let's go to the next
before we go to the fourth, to the fifth one, on cognitive appraisal,
Yes.
research is also showing that it is about 30 to 60% on all natural recovery that has been going on. Right.
What do you mean by natural?
Natural recovery. So when it comes to natural recovery, we are saying someone just think without having assistance. They just think with
Okay, muna angwereka nangouya ana something concrete chavoti ichi ndo chakonzera.
chakonzeresa, yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
actually, when it comes to motivation, we are also saying that as maybe a clinician or someone who's assisting someone, it's very hard to assist someone who has not put everything into it.
Okay, yes.
So if one
You're literally
sits
pulling in opposite directions.
opposite direction.
Yeah.
So when one meditates about their life, taking an inventory of their life, when they make a choice that I think I need to make a change.
Yes.
So the success rate or the success recovery rate of that person is about 30 to 60%.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
It's very good.
I have a brother of mine who used to smoke cigarettes and marijuana, and he just woke up one morning and he's like, I don't want any more marijuana.
Okay.
And we're like, oh, really? And till this day, he doesn't smoke marijuana.
I believe Magato, you actually said, tinotenda dzamwa.
Yeah,
That's what they
and
say.
you know what? Zirikumwa.
That's impressive.
It does happen. Like
That probably takes a lot of willpower too.
Yeah.
Willpower, yes. That's what
reason-
we actually want to happen because other things can be put in place to assist that person, but willpower is a greater percentage for the successes of all
Willpower
recovery.
and resilience.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's great.
Stay
Thank-
resilient.
Yeah, be resilient
Yes.
and stay resilient.
Yeah.
Well, the next one.
Okay, so the fifth one is recognizing negative consequences.
Okay.
Yeah. So if one recognizes negative consequences, maybe there was a violence that happened due to substance abuse.
Maybe they end up in prison.
In prison, yeah. So they just realize because of taking substances, I'm in a certain place which I was not supposed to be. Right? Can influence someone to make a change.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe disease. We talked a bit of that, but
I've heard there's a lot on
Yeah.
prostitution in that area as well, and
yeah. That can motivate someone to make a change.
like I don't want to end up there. Okay.
Yeah. So that is another factor that can influence someone to make a change, and we can actually capitalize on that, on those motivations, so that we can support that person, make him concrete in such a decision, right? Because actually, if someone is using substances, they need also external support, right? Yeah, so that they can be firm
Yes.
in their decisions that they are going to make.
I think Uncle Stu is burning.
No, I'm burning resiliently. Carry on, please.
There is a flame on my chest.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, then
Resilient big burden. Okay. So recognizing the possible negative consequences
Yeah.
and the negative consequences
That
that have
is
actually already happened in one's life can motivate them to
to make a change.
make a change. I believe it's better to, make a change after recognizing the possible negative consequences.
Sure.
Other than waiting for the consequences to actually come and then, decide
True.
to make a change.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, learn from the experiences of
Of
those
others.
who've been there before you.
Yeah, sure.
Well, the next one, I believe that's the last one.
Yeah, that's the last one.
Okay.
So the last one that can motivate someone to make a change, these are positive and negative external incentives.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you talk of incentives, this is a reward that one can be given.
Oh, now you're reaching out to the reward center.
The reward center. Yeah.
Explains that.
Actually, what motivates someone to use a substance, they want to have that reward.
Yes, that
the
reward
feel good.
center,
Yeah.
The dopamine.
The dopamine, yeah. So if we use some healthful interventions, to reward that center, then someone can just say, I think I have another incentive that I can use to reward myself.
So
that
something that can be maybe, say, introduced into someone's life that would be, replacing drug abuse as a source of that dopamine rush.
Dopamine rush.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So some people, if they just want to hang around with other people whom they can feel comfortable, feel loved, right? So if you just invite them, you show them love, you introduce them to a certain group, right? And that certain group promises that person, like, we're going to give you this if you leave this. Yeah, that incentive can motivate someone with, okay, why should I continue using this if I have got the other thing to replace it? So those are some of the things that can motivate someone to make a change.
Okay. Uncle
It's
Stu.
like going to school, if you pass, I'm going to get you that bicycle.
Yes.
So, however, this is now a life and death situation.
Yep.
And so what type of rewards can we get? Like, I'm trying to think of an example. I can't get one. I don't know if you have one for me.
Okay.
Of a reward system for a drug user.
Or drug
Yeah.
user. Actually, the best thing I've had an experience with is one who just say, I just need, when I feel like I'm stressed,
Yes.
I just need someone to stand by me.
All right.
Right.
All
So
right.
that feeling of having an empathetic friend, or someone who can stand with you in times of distress,
Yeah.
can just motivate someone saying.
So could this be something like, say, as long as you're still trying to remain clean?
Yeah.
If you need a shoulder to cry on and need a shoulder to lean on,
I'm here.
I'm there for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Would it work if you then say, but don't you ever come to me if you're drunk or high? Because that now sounds like I'm shutting the door on them, and
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm like that community that is not, showing them love. How can I balance the two? I'm trying to create a reward system for them, yet at the same time, I don't want to shut the door on them and say, well, you're drunk, well, you're high, so...
It's pretty interesting that you say that, because you just reminded me of a time when I used to be a drug abuser, and at a time when I wanted to quit, I would be like, someone told me I needed to substitute the drug. So guess what I tried? I loved Doritos.
Okay.
I love Doritos. So I was like, every time I want to use drugs, instead of buying drugs, I go buy a
Doritos.
packet of Doritos.
Okay.
But it was my own decision and my own thing. It didn't last that long. No, it didn't, because somehow you get bored of the Doritos also. So I guess with a physical entity, like you're saying, a human being who can be there for you when you need them for you to speak out something, or to cry on, or to even be happy.
Yeah.
'Cause some people take drugs to be happy.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
like not that they're sad, but they want to heighten up the happiness for that day.
For that day.
So if I could have you in my happy moments and sad, it's way better than a packet of Doritos. Yeah.
Sounds great.
And also there are some negative things that can be done, right? Instead of the positive, the rewards. I think it also depends on the age of that person. You can use cohesion to that person. If you continue doing this, you are going to leave this house, or I'm going to beat you.
Spanky, spanky. We don't spanky, spanky.
Yeah.
We beat.
So those are some of the things that can motivate someone to make a change. Like, if I still hang around with someone who's using these drugs, if I continue to use this can happen to high school students.
I won't have a roof above my head anymore.
Yeah. So this can happen to high school students who are introduced to substances at an early age, and the parents or the teachers. They just realize
it seems like in today's society, brother,
Yeah.
high school is no longer an early stage.
Yeah,
I've heard of
pretty much.
primary school kids shooting sherbet, right?
Yeah. So those things you can just use cohesion, because generally you don't have to say if you don't use this substance, you don't abuse the substance, I'm going to reward you with a bicycle. No, you can't do that to yes.
Yeah.
But you just have to
The next
use
time
some
they're going to
force.
start to use something else, because now they want you to offer them something else so that they can stop again and then get that other thing. Yeah.
So basically, that can motivate someone to change. They just because depending on the age, they just realize that if I do this, I'm going to receive this. At an elderly age, the older people, if they realize if I'm going to do this, I'm going to lose this, right? Or I'm going to get this, they can actually be motivated.
Maybe lose a job,
lose a
maybe
job,
lose my family, maybe the
family,
family
my
can
wife.
say, look,
If you continue to do this, I'm going to do this. Maybe the wife will be motivating him, right? Saying, I will never be doing this for you if you continue to do that. So that can actually motivate someone to make a change, just to make someone happy.
Interesting.
I've also seen virtual rewards.
Yeah.
Virtual?
Virtual rewards.
Okay, interesting.
A friend of mine opened this group on WhatsApp, and it's got these drug users and people who want to be clean and people who are clean, and it was like motivating the next person to stay clean, and at the end of the day, if you had stayed clean, he would send a reward message in the group, and if you were clean, you'd be like, I've done today.
This is for me.
Today's day 1, day 2, and it keeps counting. That's virtual. But it's good enough if we can't meet every day. And it's good like that. Something you can use out there.
I didn't know you were going to call it virtual rewards. We have this system with resilience 7. And when you said virtual rewards, I don't know why. My mind straight up went to like virtual reality stuff. And I'm like, what?
Sure.
Yeah, that's a really good system. I also know of sobriety coins, they call them.
Okay.
Yeah, where you get these coins which accumulates with how long, depending on how long you've been sober. You're just getting these which you won't spend, you can't spend, but you just keep.
You just keep them.
Yeah. When you hit a certain milestone, you're given something, and the next milestone you're given again something that you really can't spend, but it's something that you can keep as a souvenir to say, look, this shows the progress I've made so far. That's great. Well, our time is jealous
Sure.
of this
It's
discussion.
lapsing, but we still got it.
We still got it.
We still got it.
Yeah. However, not to weary you guys, we just gonna end here and come up with some concluding thoughts for this segment. And well, we have a lot more episodes coming, and all these issues and any questions that you might have are going to be addressed. If you have any questions or any topic you'd want us to address, please don't hesitate. Contact us. You have our contact details right there, or you can write down in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Let us know what questions you might have and all the topics that you might want us to discuss. This panel of 3 could be there next time as this panel of 3. We might have guest speakers as well, and even add to this discussion panel. So don't hesitate to give us feedback and let us know what you think. Now,
Great.
in conclusion,
Yeah.
triggers
To change.
to change.
What about them?
Yeah, let's say, I don't know. What do you want to tell our viewers in conclusion to this topic on motivation to change? Those triggers to quitting drug abuse.
So basically, what I can say is motivation is the key to change.
All right.
Yeah. So if one is motivated with these factors that we have touched on, whatever motivates you, that is the key to change.
Okay.
Actually, if someone has an aim, right, to reach, saying, of course, I've realized that for me, these negative things that can happen after using substances, things that are happening in my life, I no longer want them. Yes. So basically, you now have something that is concrete, that you can aim or a target to work on. So basically, we are saying motivation is the key to change. Let us not try to force people to change.
Okay.
Right.
Let's motivate.
Let's motivate them.
Okay.
Right. Let us motivate. As a church, let us motivate them. Christ did not come to force people to follow him. Right. He mingled with people as one who desired their good.
Yes.
And he interacted with them. Then he bade them follow me.
Yes.
So it was very easy. Before they even knew that this guy is not part of us, they were already following him.
Yes.
So that is what we are saying to the viewers, that let us not try to force people or cause a separation, that stigma. Let us try to motivate these people because they are our brothers.
Yes.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Amen.
Uncle Stu.
Motivation. That's all I can say.
A man of few words.
Yeah.
Amen.
Or a man of a single word.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Repeat it thrice.
Yeah, for emphasis.
Yeah, for emphasis.
So thank you so much, young people, for being with us today on this segment brought to you by Resilient 7 Youth Movement on drug awareness. We covered motivation to quit drug abuse, or say drug use. And we just want to say it is possible.
True.
It is possible to quit drugs. It is possible to live a clean life. It is possible to reclaim your life and take hold of it and control it. So if you want to try it, if you want to gain some motivation and you don't know where to get some, don't hesitate. just write us. You have our phone numbers, you have our email address down there. You can contact us, and we are very happy to help you and assist you. Be resilient, stay resilient. Until next time, bye-bye.